What's going on with Genshin Impact right now? Oh, you haven't heard. Oh, the man hasn't heard. But we're 5 minutes in, so I guess let's go ahead and get talking about this. I know we're starting off FGO stream, and we're going to be doing FGO stream into the latter part, but first, gang, we gotta talk about Genshin real quick. Gotta talk about it. So yes, we've got beautiful pictures here, beautiful fan arts of Yae Miko, beautiful everything. Love the Genshin fan art community, some of the most talented people in the world, but this is not who we are meant to be talking about. Not the fan artists, not the cosplayers, none of that. So, this is what we gotta talk about. How are we feeling about the anniversary? This is a pinned post at the top, and it's getting out of hand. It's getting super duper out of hand with this anniversary. So if y'all don't know, it's Genshin's first anniversary today, and it has hit kind of like as a wet fart. People are not happy at all. Mihoyo hasn't really been very vocal about it, and that's led to some general unhappiness. So let's go ahead and let's read this real quick. It is Control Plus. Brilliant. I figured it out all on my own. So, how are we feeling about the anniversary? So it's a daily login event for 10 intertwined fates, which are the limited gacha currency. And besides the gift for the Ayaka birthday, there is nothing else. No thank you in-game message. No, nothing in the game for this day. Yeah, there's been stuff outside, but there is really just nothing really implemented in the game for talking about the anniversary. There's a couple of events with some meager rewards, but these edits, gang, these edits, as the day has gone on, these edits have just continued. I didn't know the mods were deleting posts like this. I was searching the anniversary and nothing came up recently, but I know the reason now. So I don't know if it's from a flood of anniversary posts of people being upset, or if it's just like something else that's going on. I know a lot of people do tend to think that, you know, there might be something going on with the Reddit mods. I just feel like things got out of hand and they were trying to keep the Reddit from getting cluttered. But yeah, anniversary posts are getting deleted. This post had been up for 30 minutes and it wasn't taken down. I feel like the anniversary has really brought the community together. Doesn't matter if you're a waifu versus husbando enjoyer, Kokomi versus Raiden supporter, Raiden is better, story versus skip player, whales versus free-to-play, casual versus hardcore, meta versus waifu husbando. In the end, we can all agree the anniversary is bad. The mods are letting it stay up, and they're also letting people voice their concerns in this thread specifically. And the majority have agreed that the anniversary is bad. Some have discontinued their support for the game, which I've seen a ton of this on Twitter. And they've also, you know, if they are still playing the game, they aren't buying Genesis Crystals, Welcome Moon, Battle Pass, or anything. And this Edit 6 is also super interesting. Most Redditors mentioned the whole anniversary drama was a result of pent-up rage among the community, from issues regarding character kits, rushed Archon quests, a lack of endgame content, and etc., which brings the anniversary into a breaking point for most of the community, since it's supposed to be a commemorative event for Genshin Impact and to appreciate the player base for supporting them. The bad or almost non-existent in some case anniversary rewards shows how they view their player base, and it's getting nutty. I think this is the Reddit post I wanted to go to next, but this has an important screenshot, which is why I wanted. Look at that. Look at that. That is a solid review bomb right there. And it's actually worse. It's actually worse than that since the time this post came up. I think Genshin is actually sitting at a 1.9 on the Android Google Play Store, if I recall correctly. Apple's been a little more vehement about making sure that those review bombs stay off, so it's still sitting at a 4.6, but Genshin is getting absolutely destroyed as people voice their displeasure. You can see some of these reviews here. Fixed Genshin Impact Anniversary Rewards, greedy corporate company never trusts Mihoyo, Grinch Anniversary Rewards suck. And this is the thing that makes me upset about this, because these aren't reviews for Genshin Impact, these are reviews for Honkai Impact 3rd. So please, if you are indeed going to review bomb Genshin Impact, please review bomb Genshin Impact. Do not review bomb Honkai Impact 3rd. I hear that game actually treats its community very, very well. So don't, even though they're made by the same company, don't bring the Honkai dev team into your Genshin issues. Also, I wanted to bring this thing up. I scoured all day for these to try and get a little bit of stuff together for you guys. This here is important going to point 6. Over the past few days, weeks, and months, the game's added more annoyances, and coupled with the lackluster event rewards and lack of general communication from developers, everything has reached its breaking point. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on this a little bit more. Newer bosses like Abyss, Herald, or Pyrohypostasis have annoying shields and invulnerable phases. While this isn't bad in and of itself, in areas like Spiral Abyss where timing means everything, it's incredibly frustrating. And I can understand that being an annoyance. It's like when I'm facing a boss in Final Fantasy. You don't end up burning down the boss at the end of the phase change, and you end up having to wait for them to do an attack before you end up killing them. That can be an issue. That can be an upsetting issue. 4, 11, and 12 are getting harder and harder to clear, which makes it feel like we're getting weaker. Lack of communication from the developers. This is the biggest one in my mind. This is the absolute biggest thing, because I don't understand why this is happening. I don't get it. I see Retro in the comments saying no in-game message nor any small decorations in the main town for the anniversary. That's really sad. Yeah, that is pretty sad. Also, lack of communication is pretty sad. I thought we resolved this issue. Chat. Am I wrong in thinking we didn't resolve this issue? I thought, like, even FGO right now with its like short developer updates from the Japanese developers, I thought that was looking really good. I thought Yostar was super good at communicating with its players through Azure Lane. I thought the Epic 7 dev team was getting a lot better at communicating with their players. I thought, I continue to go back to the gold standard of Final Fantasy XIV. I really thought that people understood that if you just communicate with your player base, a lot of things they get mad about, which end up being the result of a miscommunication, you just never have to deal with. So I don't understand why zero communication from the developers is even a thing that exists in 2021. That is basically a necessity for any game, online or offline, period. Regular event Primogem reward is barely enough to do 3 single summons. I get that. I feel this in my bones. I feel it deep in my bones. Give the men a 10 roll. Give the men a guaranteed weapon. Give the gang something. Give them something. We got new characters with weak and incoherent kits like Kokomi. This I'm not entirely sure about. I kind of feel like healers don't need crit chance, but that's just coming from my own personal experience. I'm sure a lot of people feel differently, and I do get the argument that Kokomi isn't really super worth rolling on for gameplay if you likely already have a Constellation 6 Barbara that's just absolutely going to crush her. So that part I do understand. Not only do you get very little Primogems from events, characters in this game have constellations, which can massively change how a character performs. Imagine FGO fam if your game's Noble Phantasm 2 was mandatory, not just a big quality of life increase. That would suck. That is indeed the case with Genshin Impact's constellations. That's actually kind of why I quit War of the Visions. I know some of you might have looked at my banner. I was big into War of the Visions for a very, very long time, but the fact that you needed to pull like 7, 8 copies of a character in order for that character to be viable in any fashion was super, super upsetting. And then artifacts, of course, being RNG on top of RNG on top of RNG. The artificial boost to the farming that you end up getting, just because if you want to truly min-max, you need to roll the artifact that has the correct stats in order to be viable. And the anniversary is just the straw that broke the camel's back. So it's not even necessarily, I do see some people out there talking about how this is just about the rewards, it's just the players getting greedy, people sort of like white knighting for this company. It is not specifically just that. A fan base, a group of people doesn't just blow up over that. To have the kind of visceral reaction that the Genshin community is having right now, there had to have been other stuff boiling beneath the surface. Something that leads to them going out of their way to take their time to review bomb. Something that leads them to go out of their way to make hundreds and hundreds of posts on the Reddit, on the Discord, on Hoyo Lab, on everything. Something that leads to people entering the art contest, taking their time to draw a piece of art specifically to slam the Genshin Impact anniversary. I'm not going to put any of those up, but seriously, you can just go look at the art contest submissions and see exactly what we are talking about. So honestly, gang, I do kind of feel that the Genshin Impact community's anger is a little bit justified. I would honestly say it is completely and totally justified. I always try to be on the side of the consumer, on the side of the players, on the side of you who ends up hopping in here and enjoying this game. We, my friends, are the people that end up making these companies money, making these games popular, making all of this stuff just explode in absolute popularity. Without anybody to play the game, there's no reason for the game to exist. So I kind of feel like if your players feel like they're not being treated well, that is your responsibility to do everything you can to rectify that. And I just don't really feel like that should be an issue. I don't really feel like that's wrong, but I guess that might just be me. I don't know, but I feel like a lot of people will agree with me.